A recent study from the National Association of Realtors shows 61% of sellers completed at least minor repairs when selling their house. But sometimes life gets in the way, and that's just not possible. Maybe that's why 39% of sellers chose to sell as is instead. If you're feeling stressed because you don't have the time, budget, or resources to tackle any repairs or updates, you may be tempted to sell your house as is too. But before you decide to go this route, here's what you need to know. Technically speaking, selling as is means you won't make any repairs before the sale, and you won't negotiate fixes or credits after a buyer's inspection. Ultimately, marketing your property as is sends a signal to potential buyers that what you see is what you get. But there's an asterisk to that. Allow me to explain. Now, I'm not an attorney, I don't even play one on TV, so this is not legal advice. What I will share is my professional and personal experience. Whether you are my seller or buyer client, I always advise the following. Once the as-is clause is agreed to on the contract, it protects the seller should they want to walk away during the attorney review period if or when the buyer is asking for a repair to be made or a credit to be considered. For a buyer, it puts you in the frame of mind that you should be submitting an offer based on what you see and what you know, and unless you waive your right to have an inspection, that inspection is more FYI, so you at least you know what you're getting yourself into once you close and have keys in hand. With all that said, the things that generally do not apply to the as-is clause would be health or safety concerns, such as lead-based paint, radon, mold, electrical fire hazards, etc. Essentially, if something is discovered during the inspection that the current owner should really address whether they are living in or renting out the property, then it should be addressed, repaired, replaced, or at the very least, they can provide a credit so that the next owner can address, repair, or replace. Now, with all that said, I have been involved in as-is deals where things were negotiated and or credits agreed to, although there wasn't a health or safety risk. But oftentimes due to a concern that arose during the inspection that was not clearly visible and or apparent during the initial showing. How do I advise my seller or buyer clients in those scenarios? Well, each situation is different, so there is no one-size-fits-all answer. If you're eager to sell but money or time is tight, selling as is can be a relief because it's that much less you'll have to worry about. But there are a few trade-offs you'll have to be willing to make. Typically, a home that's updated sells for more because buyers are often willing to pay a premium for something that's move-in ready. That's why you may find not as many buyers will look at your house if you sell it in its current condition as is. And less interest from buyers could mean fewer showings and or offers, taking longer to sell, and ultimately it could mean a lower price, even if you and your realtor price it right, taking its current condition into consideration. Basically, while it's easier for you, the final sale price might be less than you'd get if you invested in repairs and upgrades. But let's unpack that a little bit more, shall we? All repairs and upgrades are not created equal. What do I mean by that? Honestly, there are a few things that you can spend money on when you're getting your property ready for market where you'll see 100% return on investment or more. But it's only a few. At the end of the day, what you can essentially expect to gain is time. If you want to spend less time on the market and or less time and energy having to negotiate before and or after the inspection, talk with your realtor, someone like yours truly, and we can go through the property together to point out the things that either buyers are looking for in today's market and or those to-do items that are sure to come up during an inspection. The better a home or property shows, the less bumps you can expect down the road. Ultimately, it boils down to what your situation is. Do you even have the funds to consider any updates, upgrades, or repairs? Or is money tight and you'd rather not take the chance of parting with it and not even seeing the price you were hoping to get or even consider? Sometimes it's better to spend a few bucks. Sometimes it's better to price it right and get out of the situation you're in. Sometimes it's something in between. The more I know about the property and your situation, the better I can advise. Now let me make one thing very clear. Selling as is doesn't mean your house won't sell. It just means it may not sell for as much as it would in top condition. Here's the good news though. According to another recent survey, in today's market, as many as 56% of buyers surveyed would be willing to buy a home that needs some work. That's because affordability is still a challenge. And while there are more homes for sale right now, inventory is lower than the norm. So you might find there are a few more buyers who may be willing to take on the work themselves. As a realtor, my goal will be to assess the property's condition, discuss your situation, including your goals and timeline, market accordingly. Marketing is crucial in an as-is situation. I can't stress that enough. And then proceed to provide the absolute best possible advice every step of the way, always keeping your goals, timeline, and best interest in mind. So, what's keeping you from making a move in today's market? I'd love to hear in the comments below. If you're trying to cut through all the noise and want to find out what all this means for you and your household, let's connect. You know how to get in touch with me. I follow both the national and Chicagoland real estate markets so that you can make more informed decisions. My name is Rick Batista, your friendly neighborhood realtor, and I'm here to help you find peace of mind with your next move. Let's talk.